So Forum is a discovery company. It's a diversified portfolio of copper, cobalt, nickel, and uranium. Forward-looking statement. So I started the company in 2004 as a uranium company in the Athabasca Basin. And by 2017, we could see the green wave coming, and we started scouring Saskatchewan for other energy metals. And we came up with some very good prospects in copper and nickel and cobalt in Idaho, our only project outside of Saskatchewan. So I cut my teeth as a uranium geologist back in the 70s and started the company as a uranium company. But with my background in beyond the uranium years was in gold and copper, we sort of spanned out. Ken Wheatley, our VPX, is a 40-year veteran of Athabasca uranium exploration. He's got 8 discoveries under his belt, and we've been at it for quite a long time with some great prospects. Boone Tan is an advisor to the company. Boone's in Calgary. He discovered the Key Lake mine, 200 million pounds of uranium. And Larry Halbert is on the team as our nickel copper PGM advisor. So in our uranium portfolio, we've got 9 projects in the Athabasca Basin. They're all drill ready, developed over that 10-year period. Wollaston project will be drilling in January, and Orano, formerly Areva, has a joint venture on our Fur Island uranium prospect. On the battery metals side, we have the Love Lake drill project in northern Saskatchewan, and we drilled that this summer, results pending. And in the copper space, we acquired a copper project in 2018 called Janice Lake, and Rio Tinto has a $30 million joint venture on that project. They've just finished their 3rd drill campaign. So I was going to talk about the investment case for uranium here, but Gwen Preston gave a very good overview this morning. So check it out on the MIF YouTube channel when it's available. And then John, of course, gave a quick overview of uranium. But the main points are there's been 10 years of underinvestment since Fukushima. Recently, the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, Yellow Cake, and now Kazatomprom are buying up all the remaining above-ground uranium, which is tightening up supply, and you can see the movement in uranium price on the chart on the right. And thirdly, this transition to the green economy is going to require a massive growth in electricity. This is electric vehicle growth, 165% year-over-year growth in electric vehicles around the world. So they're going to need lots of electricity to charge those things and lots of copper to build the charging stations. So it's my view that I think there's growing acceptance for nuclear power. And just recently, China announced that they're going to build 150 nuke plants in the next 15 years. And we're seeing nuke plants being expanded in their lives in the United States. And Germany and France are certainly sticking with their nuclear programs. They'll be revising their plans there. So we've been exploring in the Athabasca since 2004. In the Northwest is the Northwest Athabasca joint venture. We have 40% control over that project with partners NextGen, Orano, and Cameco. And that project has the 1.5 million pound uranium deposit, Maurice Bay uranium deposit there. That's something we want to get back to, and we'll probably be drilling that in 2023. Fur Island is the Orano joint venture, And they've already spent $2.5 million on 2 drill campaigns and are planning a resistivity survey on that project this winter. And Wollaston, down there just in the northeast corner, is a 100% project that we actually acquired during the COVID pandemic, about a month after COVID broke. It came open. Ground came open. Nobody cared about uranium back then, but we're committed to the uranium space in Saskatchewan. Picked up a tremendous land package there, which we're going to drill. And then the rest of the projects in blue there, we've got a lot of joint venture interest from other uranium juniors. So one thing before I get on to our Wollaston projects, I want to talk about, there was a news announcement that Orano and Denison came out with in just a couple of weeks ago. This Saber Technology, surface access borehole resource extraction. It's an ingenious and very simple concept. They drill a hole into a small high-grade ore body. They use water jet technology to cut it up into little bits and pieces, and then get compressed air down there to bring it back up to surface. So this is a new technology that is very environmentally friendly, and it's going to be really good for near-surface high-grade uranium deposits, or deep high-grade uranium deposits that, you know, doesn't make sense to build an open pit or go underground on. So we think this has tremendous potential for our Wollaston project, which is located within 30 kilometers of Cameco's Rabbit Lake Mill and Orano's McLean Lake Mill. Our VPX, Ken Wheatley, who I introduced earlier, discovered the Sioux deposits there, just to the south of the McLean Lake Mill, and he discovered the Midwest A deposit on the Midwest Rough Rider trend. So he has a really good understanding of the structural setting in this area, and when that ground came open, you know, as the pandemic was on, and he says, "Hey Rick, I found a really neat chunk of ground to acquire. Can I get it?" I says, "Absolutely, go for it." And so now here it is, a year and a half later, and we're going to drill it. And because of its location, finding a small high-grade deposit on surface, which we think it has the potential there, we could use the Saber technology. So historically, in the 70s, you can see those red lines. Those are the conductors that you look for to host uranium deposits. All the black dots are drill holes. Well, they all of a sudden stop right in the area where our property is, and that was because of just history and timing and stuff like that. A bunch of little juniors held onto that ground during the 2004 to 7 or 11 run, and when it finally came, it did no work on it. When it finally came open, we staked it. So you can see there's only been a few drill holes on our property. Ken sees a lot of really interesting flexures in some of those and structural features on our property, and that's what we're going to be going after. 3,000 meter drill program is planned for January. So moving over to our nickel copper PGM project, it's called Love Lake. It's just to the southeast south and east of the Key Lake Mill in the Athabasca Basin. Historical work there uncovered some very interesting copper nickel mineralization with PGM values. So we drilled 11 holes on 3 targets. We're just waiting for results, and I think John alluded to that in his discussion before our session. We're waiting for assays. But anyways, here's some of the core from two of the targets. The top target is very interesting. We can see copper and nickel mineralization there. It definitely looks like a net textured cumulate type magmatic occurrence. So we got to wait for assays to find out how much platinum and palladium are in that. The bottom one is from Watt Lake target, and it looks like more like a structurally controlled thing, maybe something like lactazile. So, and finally, Janice Lake copper project. It's kind of a model of our hybrid project generator value creator model. So in 2018, we acquired Janice Lake. It's a sedimentary copper project from a junior for $500,000 in cash and shares. Raised $500,000 to drill it. That was the hardest $500,000 in my life I ever had to raise. Nobody cared about copper 3 years ago. We hit 6 meters of 2% copper and had a joint venture with Rio Tinto 6 months later. They've spent $14 million on the project, and they've just completed their third drill campaign. Here's a property. It's 52 kilometers long, the basin. They've focused their drilling in the historical areas there. They've drilled 39 holes on 4 prospects over a 6-kilometer strike length. You know, just barely testing the project in my view. And we have a management committee meeting later this month, and we'll see what Rio Tinto plans next. 165 million shares outstanding, stock trades around 38 cents for a market cap of around $60 million. We have a little over $5 million in the bank. 3 million of that for sure is earmarked for exploration. Management owns about 10% of that stock. So in conclusion, we're going to be drilling our Wollaston Uranium Project. We're waiting for results on our nickel, copper, platinum, palladium project at Love Lake, and we'll see what Rio Tinto comes up with on our Janice Lake copper.